Welcome to the Shit Apple Podcast. On today's podcast, we're diving into the events at the NCA Cheerleading competition. Buckle up. It sounds like it's going to get messy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shit Apple Podcast. I'm Tiffany, here with my friends Shelly and Diana. We are dive into our last week and how Shelly was planning for a big trip that she has with her daughter for cheer and all of her travel issues, shall we call them, her anxieties, adventures, but mostly like start with like her travel anxieties and how like last week we were recording and she's like, I have to bunker down. Like after this, you're not going to hear from me or see me because I have to be at home and I don't know, travel, stress pack.
Definitely a panic traveler.
I'm a panic traveler. I'm a panic packer.
Yes.
I was getting everything into like one carry-on bag. And I'm like, look at me go. And I'm like, oh, dang, I need to bring my fan. I need to bring my pillow. I should probably bring a couple of extra outfits.
I always bring a heating pad. Is that like old lady? I bring a heating pad.
For sure.
Bad.
That's
Yes.
definitely old lady.
I love it.
That's fun.
It's a new
When
thing
are you
I do.
using it? When do you have time?
Well, when I go to bed, like, especially if you're walking, like you're going to a convention center, like it's a lot of walking, you're on your feet. When you get back to your hotel room, you crank that air to like 50 degrees as low as you can. You put that heating pad on bed.
But you said
On your back?
50
On your
degrees is
legs?
cold.
Yes, I make the room freezing.
Oh,
And then I get my heating pad on my back and it's just so like,
Relaxing.
feels
I
so
see
good.
that. It's a pro tip.
Pro tip.
actually not a bad idea because my lower back hurts so
Yes.
bad. I mean, I had 400,000 steps probably.
Yes.
You know, that's the biggest convention. I was in Dallas, the biggest convention center you've ever seen.
Yeah,
I promise you.
it's Dallas. Everything's
Yeah.
bigger in Texas.
Okay, there was a big dramatic situation that happened. So Shelly's going to start. She's going to dive into the whole story of the chaos and insanity.
Yes. And I'm sorry for my voice. Forgive me, but here we go. So we went to the NCA. My daughter's a level 4 all-star cheerleader. And NCA is possibly the biggest cheer competition there is in Dallas. And the first night we get there, and I dread traveling. You guys know I hate flying.
Yeah.
So after 6 or 7 Xanax, just kidding, I arrived safely and happy, and I was happy to be there because I was like, yes, I'm going to get Terry Black's barbecue. We always save that for the last day.
Nice.
And anyway, so the first day, well, it's evening, so
Is this a Thursday that you
this
got
is
there?
Thursday.
Okay.
So we just grabbed something to eat and kind of just went back to our room. And then Friday they have practice because the competition is on Saturday and Sunday. And so Friday, I don't even remember Friday at this point.
They must have had a practice. Don't
They
usually
had
do- yeah.
practice, and I don't really, I just don't remember. It was uneventful, just having fun with my cheer friends, my cheer fam. And we, there's where we stay, there's a big restaurant / bar in the middle. And it's like the Luxor. I know you've been to the Luxor, Diana, growing up in Vegas, but
She knows all the places.
well, when you go up there,
Yeah.
but there's hotel rooms it's like a circle and you can look down into the restaurant,
Oh, okay.
and there's like glass elevators. The
Yeah.
kids all play on the glass elevators
Yeah.
and they get in trouble every time. And it's just a rite of passage. And it's super fun and it's super cute. And us parents, all sit there and, just let them do what they want because they're all together. So the next day is competition day. And Layla's team went, so for level 4, there was a break. And then level 4, she was the first team to go on after the break. And there is a viral video. There's 2 teams that were on. One was in the arena, and Layla's team was in Hall B, like boy. And so there's only 2 teams performing at this time. And I just found this out yesterday. When the girls came out on stage, one of the, so like Mario Lopez, big
Oh, yeah.
names, big celebrities.
I love Mario Lopez.
I am
Snooki,
Oh, I love me some
Jersey
Snooki.
Shore.
What?
And Emily Simpson from the Real
Oh.
Housewives of Orange County.
Nice.
So we're all supposedly there. And the Real Housewives of Dallas lady that was a Dallas
Oh,
Cowboy.
yeah.
chick.
Oh,
I
the
heard
redhead.
The redhead.
the redhead, yes. Oh,
Shoot.
name. And I've already seen her twice. But anyway,
Control room. Help us out.
the
Brandy.
Brandy.
Yes.
Yes. They were, supposedly all there. And so somebody said, one of the cheerleaders on stage said, look, there's like everybody's running around. They haven't started yet.
Okay.
Because they all kind of like slap each other's butts and do little hip bumps and
Yeah.
hug and stuff before they perform on the stage. And one of them said to the other cheerleader, she's like, look, what's going on? Everybody's already running around.
Like she could see a commotion.
Yeah, in the crowd. But
Okay.
us parents are up front near the stage.
So you're not seeing it yet.
So we didn't see anything behind us. And but you can watch the video and you'll see. Oh, I'm sorry. And the other cheerleader goes, there must be somebody famous here. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they start the performance, and I think it was like, I don't know, don't quote me, like 16 seconds, 18 seconds, something like that. You hear one of the judges say, stop the performance.
Yeah, I could hear it on the video.
Stop the performance. Yeah, you hear it on the video.
Like they say it once and then no one really registers and knows
It
what's
doesn't.
going on. And then they say it again.
Even I didn't, because there was like a little blip in the routine in the beginning, and I don't know if you're watching this, but when I saw it, I was like, but somebody videoed and you could see the back of me, and I'm like, because I'm like, yeah, and then I go like this,
Okay.
and they go, stop the performance, and you can see me. So funny. I turn around with the biggest Kool-Aid smile on my face because I'm like, yes, there's a technical problem. We
can
get
start
to do it
over.
Yes,
Yeah.
we get a do-over. And they said, evacuate the stage. And somebody must have told them, and you can see the cheerleaders run off. And I just saw this today, and I'm sorry if I get a little weepy because I see these videos and I'm kind of like back there and I'm like, damn, I can't believe this happened. But you see us all fall to the ground.
Yeah.
And there was an active shooter.
Yeah.
In the convention center.
It's been all over the news. I don't know if anyone has seen that. And then we're
And
also going
Twitter
to
and-
post this video that Shelly is speaking of on our socials.
Yeah. So look at it and you can see. But I promise you, for what I'm going to tell you, there's a good ending. Okay. So let me just go back a little bit. Cheer Force, where Layla goes, Cheer Force, Arizona. Yeah. They're a newish team. They came from Orange County, and they came here during COVID. And that's where Layla's been. And she's been on the team. I think this is her 4th season or whatever. And they've been around 5, I think. So they've had a couple NCA wins. That's where we were, NCA, and it's the big one. But Layla's never won a big one, and she wanted it so bad. In fact, the owner, the wonderful Dee Dee, she was like, Layla wants it so bad. I'm so worried that, she might want it so bad. She might get up on stage and like freeze, like,
Sure.
when you want something so bad, you're like, you get
Yes.
numb.
Yeah. You get in your head.
But she was just like, she only has 1 more year. So she's like, I have to win NCAA.
It's like the people in the Super Bowl. They want that ring before they retire.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Dan Marino, he never won. I know. I live in sports past. Dan Marino never won a ring. So, can you imagine being that great and never winning a ring?
Yeah.
Anyhow, because Layla's pretty damn good. And, for her,
She is.
what she is, there's better, but, she's great. Anyhow, so I was still standing, and there's my good friend Trish pulled me to the ground and like repeated it. She's like, somebody has a gun. And I guess I was just kind of like
shocked. Yeah.
It just
Didn't register.
I still think about it. I'm like, I can't believe she just said those words.
Right.
Because you see it on the TV and we're all numb to it. We're all like, there's another school shooting.
Yeah.
Who
I don't know,
cares?
but I will say that is like your biggest fear just
It
from
is.
the years knowing you. Whenever there's a thing at a school or at one of our kids' schools, you lose your mind. Like
Yeah.
anyone, it's not my biggest fear. Obviously, it's horrible, but it's not something I think about.
Like, it's not-
Shelley has talked about homeschooling her kids.
I would love
because of
for them
that.
to homeschool.
Like, I just, that thought doesn't cross my mind because it's not my biggest fear. So when this was happening, I can only imagine.
Yeah, you're
It came
right.
true. Yeah, her
It-
biggest fear came true.
It really did. And so they ran backstage and went out the door. There was a cop telling
Oh.
them, get out, or,
And you're
excuse me, a
separated from-
security guard. But at that moment, I'm only, say 100 feet away from her because she ran and we were right there, right by the stage. And you guys, I'm like on the ground, excuse me, and I'm looking at the stage. I don't even remember crawling, but I remember this part. Like I poked the drape under the stage to see if it was
Like you could
solid
hide under
or if I could hide under it.
Wow.
And Trish or someone was like, just come on, we're going outside. We're going outside. So we ran outside and there was like this, we were right near the actual grassy knoll, in Dallas, but we were like on a grassy knoll under trees and stuff. And it seemed like everybody was safe. So I ran and I saw Layla. I ran up and I hugged her and everybody's out. I mean, you guys, there's like, I think 100,000 people going through the
This
the
whole thing.
convention center during this whole weekend, maybe not all at one time. But at that moment, there was at least 30,000 people in the convention center.
Wow.
Okay. So there's a lot of people out there. I see Layla, I hug her, and I turn around and there's this lady, and she is flipping out. Like, I can't find my daughter. Her whole team was there, but not her.
Oh, wow.
She's like, I am flipping out. Excuse me. She was flipping out. She was screaming. I can't find her. I can't find her. And me and one of the other coaches, I don't know if anybody wants their name said, but he knows who he is. He's a gem and I love him. His first name starts with an M like Mary or M like Michael. And M was like, what does she look like? What, blah, 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 blah. And I was running. I was thinking everything was fine. And we went back up the hill more towards where the convention center was. And then they said that, and I won't say anybody's name. So they said, has anybody seen Z? And this is Layla's flyer, little girl. And it was the day before her birthday, 13th birthday. So she's a little buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of took my mind off you just don't know where to go.
Right.
You're just looking all around and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, crap, where's Z? And so I'm starting to look around. All of a sudden, there's like, we call them waves. I don't know what you call them, but all of a sudden, everybody starts screaming, go, go, go. And then you see hundreds of people starting to run again. So your first instinct is,
Run.
I got to run.
Yeah.
So that's when I lost Layla. She went, I don't know if you're watching this. She went this way. I got caught up going this way.
Opposite. Yeah.
Right. And so I still don't really know the story, how Layla ended up where she ended up, but her coach, her other coach, I'm just gonna say her name, Marissa, led her to safety.
Okay.
She led her
Thank
to
you so
safety. Here's the problem. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there was no cell service. You can see my phone. I texted and called everybody,
Yeah.
and they were calling me. Where are you? And they said it was just going to voicemail. I texted
Oh my
a
God.
million
But
people.
all those people were using their cell phones at the
Right.
same time. Yeah.
And I'm sure Layla's mind is racing. Where's my mom? And
Right.
you're both living in this fear of like,
Right.
where is this?
And for those of you who don't know, Layla and I are Layla is just as much of a black heart as us.
Yeah.
She might beat you in black heart,
She might.
Tiffany.
She's
We
younger,
call her
so
a little serial killer.
by the time she's our age, who knows? Watch
Oh,
out.
my Lord, yes. We got a Dexter part 2 on our hands. And so I can't, I don't know what she's going through, Anyway, I ran one way. We were running across the street. There were cars parked in the street. Like, can you imagine being parked in the street and hundreds,
Yeah.
maybe thousands of people running in front of you?
Yeah.
Apparently, they stopped a train in its route.
Out.
Either way.
Route,
I'm gonna
route.
go route, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm going
gonna
with
stick
route.
with route. They stopped a train, and then there was, if you go down another hill, there's the freeway. I ran down by the freeway because I saw people going that way, and I thought
my
I saw.
It's like
so
the
late,
true definition of mob mentality.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But I was looking for green. Her team is green. Cheerforce is green, and unfortunately, so are some other teams. It's not the most popular color, you know. So I just felt like I was going to get lucky if I went towards green, and it wasn't her. So I ran back up the freeway, and
Like, were you on the freeway?
I was right along the side. I was
Okay.
about ready. There were some people running through the freeway. Everybody was
God.
stopped.
All the cars?
All the cars were stopped because there was people running, and there was a bridge above
It's like a
it.
zombie apocalypse
This
or
was
something.
like
It's like apocalyptic.
I said what I went through was like Rick Grimes.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
picturing Walking
episode
Dead.
of The Walking Dead.
That's what I'm picturing.
because I'm just
Abandoned
running.
cars with the doors open and people just running and fending for
It
their
was crazy.
lives. Like,
I'll get to the abandoned things in a minute. So I ran back up the hill and I went up on the thing, and I'm kind of like crying, like panic crying, like can't find my kid. I can't find my kid. I
Yeah.
can't call her. Her phone is at the convention center.
I couldn't
Because
imagine.
I finally called Bill and it went through. Thank God. That's my husband. And I said, Bill, there's an active shooter.
Oh,
I mean, can you imagine what
Well,
went
he
through?
was saying, you're giving me chills. Like, I
No.
had chills on my arm.
Make me cry.
I said, I'm looking for, and he goes, where's Layla? And I was like, I don't know. You know, I was like,
Oh my God.
I didn't want to tell him that part, but you know, and there's people like texting me that I appreciate you. I love you. And I thank you for your text, but those aren't the people I wanted texts from at that moment.
Yeah.
I wanted cheer moms or cheer coaches to tell me
know.
Layla was
Yeah.
okay. So, I don't remember why I was telling you that, but anyway, I was trying to text people like, do you have I was trying to call, whatever. It just not delivered. It went straight to voicemail. So I'm running up on
I'm trying to find your daughter in a crowd of 30,000 that's spread
it's
out.
crazy.
Right.
So we're all kind of, you know, veering off in our own little crowds. I am by myself.
Oh, you're not with anybody? You were
I'm not
literally
with-
alone?
I was literally alone.
Did she stop to help that other?
Yeah. I
Lady.
ran off. I saw one cheer mom, my friend Shannon, and then I saw green and I ran up the hill to
Okay,
go
I
green.
see.
And then it wasn't them. And then I went the other way.
Oh my God.
And then they did it again, you guys. There's ways, and they start screaming and running, and you don't know what to do. And and at that point, I'm just kind of like, why are you screaming? Is there somebody out here, you know?
Shooting.
And they don't stop and tell you. And I told you guys I could jump a fence because I jumped 3 fences that
Damn.
day without even scathing my new aloe pants. And I jumped into I didn't even know where I was.
So if you want to do a bank heist, well, Shelly,
You just like
she'll
were
escape.
seeing red.
I was just going.
Yeah.
And I
Fear,
jumped
it's
a
like-
fence into a
Almost blacked out.
mechanic. It was a mechanic.
my
He was
gosh.
outside where he was fenced
Like
in.
at a station or a house?
Well, it's super. If you
Was there, like,
it's super
dogs, like pit
downtown?
bulls?
I know. I'm surprised. I didn't even think about that. I just jumped in,
Rottweiler?
and the guy looked up at me, and I go, "I'm so sorry. There's an active shooter." And he goes, "It's okay. I got it."
Oh.
He goes, "It's okay." And then he pointed, and I squeezed through like a little space,
Wow.
and I hid. It was a brick wall, and I hid behind it.
Oh my gosh.
And then everything seemed calm for the moment. No, but there wasn't another wave of people screaming and crying. So I started running the other way.
Yeah.
And then I found some Cheer Force people, but they were Cheer Force San Diego. Shout out Cheer Force San Diego. They were like, what's going on? Why are you alone? Or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't even remember how we started talking.
Yeah.
I go, I can't find my daughter. They had their kids. They were just trying to protect them.
Mhm.
And they go, let's find your daughter.
Oh.
And they ran with me, and we ran to this. Everything, it seems like in downtown Dallas, is a lot of brick. And we ran, and then there was another wave, and they went and hid behind these metal stairs that led up to a door. We were trying doors everywhere,
Okay.
you know, just like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
They're all locked
Panic.
Sirens. Are there fire trucks at this point?
everywhere.
And so you could hear like,
Everywhere. I
oh,
could have thrown a
Screaming.
rock. There's
Okay.
screaming. There's police officers.
Did you at any point hear a gunshot?
I did not.
You never heard a gunshot.
No.
I mean,
No,
there-
I never did.
okay.
I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we're trying doors, and they said these doors are to a movie theater. And so the other coach that I told you about, the man, M, he told the big group of cheerleaders that he had, don't go in there, you'll be stuck in there.
Oh,
Because they're going to be on
True.
lockdown.
Right. And so he kept taking them. Of course, I wasn't with them. They were trying to block people out.
Because they didn't know what was going on. They
No.
were sitting through a movie.
When I tell
Okay.
you, I kicked that door in.
like actually?
I was like, "You're letting me in," and I kicked that door in, and then there was a rush of people behind me, and we all piled.
Oh my God, I
in.
love you.
And I swear to God, it was like by the power of Grayskull. I don't know if he just actually let it open or whatever, but in my mind, I kicked it in. But I did. I used my leg. I kicked it. Because. Sorry.
She's fast.
Mm.
She's strong. And she doesn't take no for an answer.
I was, but my mind was maybe there's cell service.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
For a minute there wasn't, but all I knew was I needed to find Layla and maybe she's in here. So I started going to every movie theater, and I just stood in front of the movie, and these people didn't know what was going on that were watching the movie.
So you just look like some crazy
Crazy woman.
Oh my gosh. Imagine you're sitting
Yeah.
in a movie.
I'd be like, don't.
And
talk
there's
to
this
that
crazy lady
Don't
running
talk
in.
to
Yeah.
that crazy
There's
lady.
like,
Yeah.
were you yelling or were you?
Screamed, I have a big voice. Layla Markov, I'm here.
Oh my
Come
God.
here.
Oh,
And nothing. And then people in the movie theaters started, so other people kept coming in behind me, following what I was doing. Excuse me. I walked out and I got a phone call from my friend, cheer mom Florence. And she has a thick German, I believe German or French accent. So it was hard. It was the phone call was very sketchy, like
Really?
glitchy.
Like, yeah.
But okay, I'm going to get emotional.
okay.
She called and she said, Shelly. And she was saying something. And I go, Florence, I'm in a movie theater. I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying because it was really loud. And she goes, just look. And there was Layla.
Oh,
And I was like,
He cried.
I know.
I was like, Layla, love you. I'm coming to you. Where are you? Where are you? And the call cut out.
Oh my God.
at
This is like a
least you knew
fucking
Okay,
movie.
but I knew she was okay.
Okay.
Then somebody else said, no, it might have been the same call. I'm forgetting. They said, do you know where Z is? The little flyer.
Uh-huh.
She's still missing.
Oh,
So, but there was another lady that texted me or called me. So I was getting stuff in the movie theater. Okay.
how much time has
Calls.
passed?
I don't know. But
Like-
apparently I was gone like 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
So then I went to every other movie theater that I could see. And I was frantic. I couldn't remember Z's last name.
Right.
So I'm like, is Z the flyer here? Z the flyer. I was running around. I was pushing people down, I mean, not pushing them.
So a
down. That
lot of
sounds
people were
ridiculous.
gathered inside the movie.
They were
to
coming
hide.
in. Yeah, hide and
Find
some
their
were looking
people.
for people.
Okay.
So finally, my cheer friend Dawn, was it Stacy? Anyway, I'm so sorry for those of you who helped me that I'm not remembering. They said, we're at the police station.
Okay.
Layla's
Okay.
at the police station.
Okay, good.
And
place
I
to
go,
be.
I have no idea where I'm at. I'm in a random movie theater. They pinned where they were. And you guys know I don't
Oh
know.
boy.
Girl, I don't know how to pin. So I'm like, I'm like,
Oh, Shelley.
I don't know how to do this. And I'm shaking
Yeah.
and stuff. And I go, and I just went up to this random movie worker and I go, help me find where my daughter is at the police station. And he goes, you don't need that. Run straight down this street and it's on your left.
Okay.
And I'm like, really?
That's so lucky. How
I
close
know.
it was.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, like half a mile. And I ran as fast as I've ever
Oh,
run.
Shelley.
And I was like, I was there in Lickety Split and I ran across the street. There was cops out front And so I stopped the traffic and I just ran, but they kind of knew because there were still more people that were running across the street. And
What are all the cars thinking? Like,
can you imagine?
yeah, no, I can't.
It's, yeah. Can you try?
I mean, I can. I think I can imagine, but I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would be like, I'm the kind of person, I want to help,
Yeah.
oddly enough. And I would be like, can I help you? Are you okay? You know?
Yeah.
And I think people were
Yeah,
just
been like,
I know, like kids lock the
Lock 'em
door,
up.
don't make eye contact.
but I ran and there's so many people and I didn't know they were upstairs and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh
at
my
the
God.
police station.
At the police station,
Oh.
there was an upstairs place. And I didn't know I was sweat. Oh, of course, I go on the hottest weekend of February/March to Dallas. We were sweaty. I was so sweaty. I left my water
You
bottle
ran
there.
like half a mile. You were running.
No, I ran more than that. I just
You
ran
on
a
the
half.
freeway.
No
But
water
How many
bottle.
steps did you get that day?
I didn't even look. You know, I never wear my Apple Watch. I insisted on getting one and never wear it. But
Meanwhile, she had no Diet Coke, no water. To
nothing.
sustain
I
her.
left my water bottle
Oh
there.
my God. She
Nothing.
was,
I
Did
did.
you have your purse?
I did.
Okay, just I was asking.
But
for
it was
ID
draped
purposes.
across me.
Yeah.
So honestly, if I didn't,
Oh,
I mean, if I had a purse that I'd set down, so this purse right here is a little bigger. I usually set it down if I have that purse
oh.
but I had this little crossbody.
Yeah.
So it was already on.
Shelley
me.
requires a lot of purses
I do.
and liquid to survive
do.
everybody.
I did see like a
glosses.
bar and lip gloss and mints. I saw a little bar on the way there. I'm like, I literally, for just a hot second, I was like, I should stop in there and get some water. But I didn't. I kept going. And there was a cheer mom. Her name is Crystal. She found me. I mean, she just saw, I don't know where she came from. I was looking through everybody. I'm like, Layla Markov, Layla Markov.
Yeah.
And she came in, she grabbed me and put a cup of ice water in my face. And I was like, go, 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 you know, like, and I was like, thank you. And she took me to Layla.
Oh my God.
And
What was that like to see Layla? Just,
it was just so relieved.
yeah,
Just
a relief.
The biggest relief I've ever
I could only
known in
imagine.
my life,
Yeah.
you know? And so that was Saturday.
And the craziest part about this is like the media is not really covering it
Well,
of what actually happened.
Yeah, and so I got a call from Shelley on Saturday, right as she had jumped the fence and she was at a gas station.
no, I had already gotten Layla.
Oh, yes, because I asked you, do you have Layla?
Because so Bill, I don't know how come I couldn't call him back, but I just needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just needed someone, and I called Diana, and I just,
Who never answers.
but I know, I knew, and it's funny, I was calling her, and it rang for a minute, and I was like, she's not going to, I was getting ready to hang up. I didn't want to call my mom
Yeah.
because my mom had my son at her
Didn't
house,
Panic them.
and they were following me on Life 360.
Because
Okay.
Bill was up there and he told them. What
No, he
happened?
wasn't up there yet. He was at work,
Okay.
you know, probably just helpless. You know, what do I do?
Oh my gosh.
He said he was following me on Life 360 too. But I called him and it just went to voicemail. So I called Diana and I was like, there's an active shooter. She's like, no, Shelley, that's your worst fear. And I'm like, I know. And then there was just so much going on. I don't even know why I called her because we were just trying to
It was
get,
like a panic thing.
yeah, we were just trying to get back to the hotel, you know, because they said we could go back to the hotel. And so we ended up
But at this point, is like all the screaming and yelling and running it's all
it's all,
subsided,
as far as I knew.
and
yeah.
nobody knew what happened or
No.
had occurred.
Not at that. Well, so some people were texting me. Remember the people that I didn't need it to text me at that time, texted me back and they said, I don't think there's a shooter. There was just a fight. I don't think there's a shooter. There were poles that fell.
Yes.
So
So there's
So
conflicting
one
reports.
of the boys on on Vincent's soccer team has a sister on the cheer team.
Okay.
So I saw the dad. I was just getting into the soccer practice thing. And I saw the dad and I'm like, have you talked to your wife? Like, what's going on? And he didn't seem worried. So I was like, okay. I
Oh,
feel
I
like,
think she was at the police station pretty early on.
okay, yeah. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, if she
makes
has
you feel
Layla,
better.
she's safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe it was just like chaos. But
Yeah.
then I didn't really hear from Shelley until that evening.
Yeah. And so we ran across the street to 7. Oh, and then that same lady that shoved a glass of water in my face, which I so appreciate. They had water. Let me just say, everybody at Cheerforce came together.
Yeah.
You know, big shout out. I mean, they were passing out waters to us. They were hugging and loving other people's children,
Okay.
protecting them. The coaches were, just trying to account for, by the way, baby Z
Was found.
got there at the same time as me.
Okay,
that's-
good.
And apparently that was like a beautiful reunion.
Was she
I didn't
by
get to
herself?
see. This little girl was by herself.
herself?
Let me tell you what a gangster Z is, okay? She's using other people's phones, just by herself, going place to place to place, and finally ended up there.
Wow.
And this is the night before her 13th birthday. She is the biggest present that our team could have, because
Wow.
I don't know what went through her mind or what she went through,
Yeah.
but she made it happen,
Wow.
and big ups, big
Yeah.
ups. Her mom is just a gem as well. So she raised another gem.
So is everybody like just in shock?
I think
and
we
like,
all are. So last night we had oh.
Wait, but you
Okay,
you're
sorry.
at the police station, you file a report, what happens?
No, I mean, no.
So you're just there
You
for
just leave,
safety?
We're there
go
for
back to your
safety. There were
hotel.
cops all out in front. They called it the Family Reunification Center at that point. I didn't know because I wasn't getting texts.
Yeah.
And get this, it's so funny. We're walking, they finally say you can leave. We're walking across the street to 7-Eleven. We're like, Slurpees,
Okay.
just trying to, I don't know, make light of any situation. And
And wait, did any officers say, okay, there was no active shooter, everyone can relax?
nobody said anything to me.
So then how did you guys know there
They
wasn't
just
a
said
gunman
it's
on the
safe.
loose?
So our hotel was on lockdown,
Okay.
apparently. And I heard that one of the hotels, the hotel where the fight did happen, but it's
Oh.
not the fight, it's a fight, is connected to the convention center.
Okay.
They were on lockdown supposedly for a bomb threat, but I don't know if that's true. There's a million stories, right? So anyway, they said that my hotel I could go back to, which is right next to that other hotel. So we called an Uber. They couldn't get to us. The streets were blocked off. We
Yeah.
were sitting there. So I literally, we were like, we just got to walk. And we were still so tired and sweaty and stuff. We walked through like an apartment building with underground parking. And this lady came out, or like, I don't know, her and her friend were in the front seat. And I just tapped on her window and I go, please help us. Please just take us to our hotel. I'll give you all the money in my purse I have. And she's like, girl, you get in here. You
Wait,
guys
it was just
squeeze
you and
in here.
Layla?
It was me, Layla, Sherry, and Alyssa.
Okay.
And she's like, get in here, and there wasn't enough room. Layla had to sit on my lap, but
Yeah.
it was closed down still, but I was like, just get us as close as you can. She wouldn't take any money. I made her take some money anyway.
Oh,
And she's like, I'm going to put this in my baby's piggy bank and I'm going to pray for, they're all,
sweet.
a lot of people are very nice in Dallas. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a nice,
Southern.
yeah. So anyway, so we got to our hotel and we got up to our room, and it's odd. Like I was lonely. I was like, I felt, I don't know how to,
You felt
excuse me.
isolated.
I just felt like I needed to be around the people that I was in that situation.
Sure.
And Sherry, all four of us, we had connecting rooms. I mean, she went through that too, but I just felt like I needed to hear more or feel more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
was like, it was such a weird situation. So we went down and we heard like all of the,
Plus the adrenaline. Like you can't just go to your room and sit in your room.
Yeah,
Like
just-
no,
right.
you need to
Yeah.
talk about it and figure
Yeah.
it out.
Have a
and your
cigarette,
brain's
get
trying
2
to
shots of tequila.
process it. And
yeah,
Yeah.
So we went down and like I said, that big bar, we were all together. And I mean, we stayed there for hours and hours,
Okay.
and we heard all the stories and The girls were looking at all the TikToks. Like we said, there's a viral TikTok. That's my daughter on stage. Well, there's two teams, but we'll link the one where my daughter was on stage when it happened. So they were saying, so when we got back to the hotel, do you know, I saw so many people with their bags packed and they were Ubering home.
Wow.
They're like, well, and I actually did say that when I was in the police station hugging Layla. Like people always say, God forbid our children lay down their lives to get an education so you can carry your gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said that, but I go, God forbid these cheerleaders lay down their life, to cheer so you can carry your guns,
Yeah.
And I really believed that I was going to go home. And by the way, I'm pro-gun. I own guns.
Yeah.
I'm not about that, but they don't need to be around children. If you can't carry a gun in Costco, why should you be able to carry a gun into a convention center
There's only children.
where there's only a zillion children?
Yeah.
Okay? Keep your guns at home,
Yeah. Unless
It's
you're a
okay.
police officer.
Unless you're a police officer or unless you're, I don't know.
Secret Service.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I can't even think of another reason. So anyway, okay. So they were saying if you want to perform the next day, you can. We're making it a one-day competition now because
Oh, okay. I was going to ask.
now the people who performed that day,
Could
it
use
was
that,
already,
or-
they would
Either
take the
redo.
higher score,
Okay.
but we didn't get to perform. No, by the way, no level fours, which is what Layla is, had performed. They were the first.
Okay.
So it was a one-day competition for everyone,
Interesting.
okay, in their division.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know the exact number. They said it last night. I can't remember, but there's like 1,716 teams or something like that.
Wow.
So imagine anywhere between like 10 to 40 people per team, plus their parents. Most people bring both parents, not all, or whatever, their siblings, whatever. So, why was I telling you that? I don't know. Anyway, so a few of the girls on our team didn't want to go back because it was going to be the same stage and the same.
Yeah, they have
They're
PTSD.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And even if it was in a different hall, I would have gotten it, but it's kind of like very eerie,
Yeah. 100%.
And still at this point, no one knows. Was it an
We
active
don't
shooter?
know. They
Was it
kept
this?
saying it was poles falling, which poles do fall, but we'll get to that in a minute. So we went back and they performed, and
So we convinced these girls, like some girls,
the coaches went into the rooms
they
of the
asked and they
people,
figured out.
and they talked to them. They talked them down. They weren't making them do it.
Right, no,
like
I
the
don't-
girls wanted to do it.
Sure.
They were just scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all went together. And what I saw on that stage, you guys, I mean, they've had their issues all season long. Girl drama is real. And, but they came together and I saw love,
Yeah.
I saw love, and I saw these girls that were like, literally flipping the proverbial bird off to anybody who was going to stand in their way of winning that competition.
Hell yeah.
And they performed at, like, let's say 1 p.m. I can't remember. Our awards wasn't until 6. We knew they did good. By the way, guys, the judges who never do this, they don't do this, gave them a standing ovation.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. And, they deserve that for being up there and doing not only what they do, doing it better than they probably ever have. So anyway, awards come. We're like, oh God, just please, God, just let it be top 3. I mean, they just deserve it, whatever. But not only do they don't deserve a pity. I'll take a pity win all day.
But they didn't.
I will. How much money do you need?
It tastes a little
I will
sweeter
buy
when
this
you-
win, like some cheerleaders do. Cheer teams, not us. Cheer force.
shoot.
We are real. I said it. There might be some bribing going on, but
The win tastes sweeter though when you win it fair and square.
Yeah.
it does. And let me tell you, they got down to the top 3, and we were like all hugging each other and stuff.
Wow.
And then they got down to the 2 teams, And so when they said, and the second place team is, and it wasn't us,
Yeah.
we flipped the hell out.
You knew.
Oh my
We
gosh.
flipped
Oh my
out.
gosh.
Us parent, the girls, we could post that too. It's
I wish I could have saw
adorable.
Shelly screaming.
Well, first of all, I was like, and then everybody came and hugged us. And there's like the OGs for the team is called EKG. And there's like OGs that's, we've been on the team, the parents, and we all hugged, and like some of the moms, like they were crying and stuff. I couldn't squeeze out a tear. I was trying to. I'm like, I couldn't squeeze out a tear. I had pure, just unfiltered joy.
Yes.
Because I knew that, listen, all the girls wanted, but I only go home and talk to my daughter, and she wanted it so bad. And how sweet this tasted, probably from the worst. What I pray to God will be all of those girls' worst day.
Yeah.
I hope that there's never another worst
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
From the worst day in their lives to right now,
To their
best.
Isn't that wild?
The best day ever.
To have the
And-
worst day the day before and the best day the next day?
That's
Wow.
Wow. And by the way,
An array of emotion there.
they got a
I'd be exhausted.
99,
That is amazing.
and we didn't even realize this. Well, I knew this. I called this. I Babe Ruth this. I pointed to the stands the beginning of the season because I saw that team and I said, this is a stacked team. We're going to win NCA. I even told Marissa, the coach, that. And I thought maybe during the season with all the silly drama and blaming and this and the finger point, the dumb, silly stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff
That
that doesn't
really
matter.
happens on all teams.
But I was like, this is what's killing us.
Yeah.
We're worried about this,
Yeah.
But
What's
knew.
the full score? 100?
Yeah.
What is it? Okay, so they got
So
99.
the other teams got like 96s and 97s. And by the way, those are good teams.
Right.
I mean, there's one team that's our Lex Luthor, and they got third.
Okay.
And they got 99. We found out later that they got, I'm going to massacre this, the Herky Award. They won the entire level 4 of co-ed, small, youth,
Wow.
senior, medium, large.
Layla's team?
Layla's team.
Oh my
They got
God.
the best score of all level 4s. They are the grand champions.
That's
Whoa,
amazing.
That's
grand
not a pity.
champs.
No.
That's not a pity.
No.
Because
Wow.
their score was so much higher than even the second place team.
Right.
And then so they won, it's called a bid. They will pay for, they don't get paid to be sent to the summit, which is in Florida. They'll pay for their entry fees, which is
Okay.
like $200 or $300. But I mean, it's more than just $200 or $300. It's it's a badge of honor.
Sure.
They got a full paid bid to Florida, and we all celebrated last night.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
yeah, and so it turned around really fast. She got a jacket, which is the gosh dang heaviest jacket. 'Cause I put that on and pushed Layla away and got my picture taken in that jacket because I want to thank me. I want to thank me,
Yeah.
and I want to thank me.
I mean,
But
you're not wrong again. I mean,
Yeah.
the
but it
parents-
was funny, anyway, she got a jacket. I bought her a big old fat NCA fake diamond ring. They get like these big old Super Bowl type rings.
That's
and,
awesome.
So
Layla and her team.
it's
And you.
Congratulations, EKG and Shell.
And
And all the
Shelly.
parents, right? And coaches.
All
that
the
work
parents, all the coaches, Cheerforce Arizona, go there, support them, give them a like on Instagram. Just because even if you go to another gym, I mean, if you just knew how much they might have even loved on your kids if you're at another gym.
Mhm.
They took care of everybody. I mean, my Lex Luthor team was the lady in the very beginning. And you know what I'm talking about, Diana. I'll fill you guys in later.
Okay.
But my Lex Luthor team, that was who me and M were trying to help.
Help.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's a
It
good-
didn't matter.
No, of course
It
not.
didn't matter.
Of course not.
We
Yeah.
come together. We're
You're all
going to take care of our
moms.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that was, so it ended so beautifully. We all went back to the bar, and that will be another episode where an argument
Oh.
starts.
We have to, do we need to do a part 2, a sequel to this episode?
We will do a sequel after I figure out that whole situation.
Okay, wait, but
Because that was a doozy.
Oh boy.
okay, before do we want to talk about some of the conspiracy theories?
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
please.
Okay.
Let's do that, because
So here we go.
right, you were getting texts from me, and it sounds like from Tiffany included,
Yeah.
like, no, we saw the news. They said it was polls dropping.
Right.
No, they said it was a fight. And then,
Yeah.
I heard it was a fight,
Yeah.
and I never heard the pole dropping, but I heard it was a fight, and then a parent pulled a gun,
Right.
is what I heard.
Okay.
I also follow a lady named, I think it's like, she's like an influencer of
Influencer.
fashion. Her name's Jenna Green. She's out of Chicago.
Mhm.
And I think it's just her daughter or two of her daughters, one or two. Jenna Green 920. She's on Instagram. But she was just posting how, and her husband is a cop. And all these people are saying that it was not an active shooter. And she posted this whole thing saying that she got a lot of messages that the news is lying and covering this.
well, she was there, right?
She was there with
Yeah.
her daughters, but she said, unless you've run from the sound of gunshots thinking someone wanted to harm you, then please refrain from telling me what the good old news had to say today.
Yeah.
I was
Shut
hiding.
the fuck up.
I was hiding on the dirty floor of a kitchen with many moms who were separated from their kids, absolutely terrified. This mama bear is not in the mood. I just want people to hear the truth. Why would they cover it, you ask? Because what a liability this is, not knowing who was doing it and not having any security. Sounds like a huge lawsuit to me.
So I will say this. Marissa said this, the coach. I didn't hear it, but somebody told me, and I thought they were very powerful words. Because at one point they said, "Pole." That's all we heard was poles fell. That's why there was the loud noises. Okay. She said, I don't care what they say. What we went through, what happened to us in our reality was an active shooting incident.
100%.
That is what Shelley Renee Ferraris Markov went through.
Yeah.
That is what Layla Elizabeth Teddy Markov went through, and everyone on all those thousands of people.
Yeah.
The fact that there are pictures, because there's this group on Facebook called Crazy Cheer Moms of Facebook or something like
I've
that.
seen it.
I'm a member and I never check it because I'm never on Facebook. But I guess they are some good sleuths out there.
Yeah.
And on TikTok, there's some kids. There are like nine
There are.
9 bullet holes. One of them even said there's fresh glass shards, you know, because they're saying it.
They're saying it was
And
old bullet holes, but it's not.
Like the whole conglomerate of.
Well, there's varsity. So I will say the second day we came in, there's signs that say you can't carry a gun in here. They weren't there the day before.
And what
But-
was the security like?
Oh, so Val,
Yeah.
my friend Val Burgett, what? Can I tell you this? Her and her sister were separated from their daughters.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Val's daughters, Selena's nieces, they went a different way. Of course, Val, she's such a Halloween and creepy things lover. She ends up in a cemetery with a horse.
I'm sorry, what?
Of all things,
What
but
was
it's typical Val. And do you know people were jumping the walls? They had babies.
Oh,
They were holding their babies while they jumped the wall and putting babies over walls to help get them. That's how
I
much
mean-
danger we thought we were in. When they evacuated the convention center, there were strollers left behind. People
Wow.
just grabbed their babies. I'm sure there was a little bit of looting at the varsity store. Shame on you all.
And purses, right? People left purses.
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
Stuff behind.
People were jumping
Bags.
off. So there's this place in the convention center at the very end. And when I tell you, so here's the thing with the fight to the gunshots.
mhm.
Gun was pulled, or excuse me, the poles fell in the arena. The arena
Yeah.
is its own building. And that's where like the world's teams, like the level 6s and 7s and
Got it.
34s. I don't know how high this even goes.
Right.
Contrary to popular belief, and I'll get into this this will be part 2. I don't know all the big other teams. I worry about Cheer Force and EKG specifically, and I don't care about other teams. If they put on a good show, good for them. I love watching it, but I don't know about other teams. We'll get to, so you're probably wondering why I'm pressed about that. But anyway, that's where the dope teams, and by dope, our team is dope, but that's where like the big,
But that's where the gunshots
that's where it happened.
in the
And-
I can see it, the video where it's in the glass.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's covered in glass.
So that's where the gun was.
That's where the gun
shooter.
was. And people were jumping off the balcony.
No.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm not kidding. There's
People were
videos of
injured.
it.
Yeah, there was a thing in the news, like this many people were injured for.
Yeah,
So was anybody
didn't-
shot?
I don't.
Did anybody
think so.
come out?
I don't
and
know.
Say, like I'm just.
I don't know.
It's yeah.
I really don't.
It's so covered and buried. And
It's
there's
so
so many
weird, right?
It's very strange.
I would pray.
What is your theory on that?
I think there was, so I talked to some lady, she was just a random lady, and she was shaking and crying that night. So we're all done. And she's just standing out.
From Cheer Force or different?
No,
Oh.
I don't know where she was from. And I go, hey, are you okay? And she was telling me about the fight. She's like, have you seen the fight? And I go, no. And she airdropped me a video. I have the fight. I mean, but my fight is just a little clip. She just got it off the internet or something. And I think she said something like, I fear my daughter might have started some of the problem, but she saw the gun pulled. She ran screaming, gun, gun, gun. He's got a gun. And people started going. But I'll tell you another thing. I'm not going to say her name. One of the moms on our team said that two of our coaches, I believe, and I might be getting this wrong, it's been a whirlwind. They saw inside the convention center cops running with their rifles pulled. What are you kidding me?
If there's pillars,
What are they going
you
to do?
don't
Shoot
well,
holes,
no,
bad
but-
holes for falling.
But if I'm in a crowd and I'm an armed officer and someone's saying gun, he has a gun, I'm going with my weapon
Right.
on.
Right,
That's normal protocol.
for
Well,
sure.
100%. But some of the claims are that it was poles that fell.
Pulls that fell.
Right,
But the point
if
is-
someone's shouting gun and you don't know as the person going in to, solve the problem.
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
gonna
you're
draw
going to
your
go in,
weapon.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But they're calling for backup. Why are they why was every cop
Yeah.
in Texas there?
Yeah,
We're wondering why the cover up.
I mean,
I
I
think-
think
I
it has
think
to do with
there
who
could be a
owns-
lawsuit.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
lawsuit
know if
and who
it's,
owns.
to be fair, I don't know
So
if
they're
it's
not- so the-
varsity.
so
It
the
might be the
security there-
convention center.
So are
Well, it
you
might
saying the
be-
security when you're entering these arenas, is there a metal detector? Are
No.
people checking bags?
No,
So when you have 30,000 people,
Wait,
there has to be some protocol.
hold up. There's no metal detector.
absolutely not.
When my kid was on rec cheer and we went to
Yeah.
Palm Springs, there were metal detectors.
That's crazy to me, first of all.
I was like, where
When you
are
have
we?
that
Ghetto?
large of
Yeah.
a gathering of human beings, there's like rules, and like you check your bags or metal detectors.
I would hope that
Was there any cops or security there before?
there was
it all
security.
broke
Oh,
out?
I was telling you about Val. She said there was like some security there. And we don't know the difference between varsity and the convention center. So I don't know. I don't want to say
You were in a
one way
different
or the
arena,
other.
yeah.
But she said they didn't know what to do. There was no evacuation plan
Yeah.
that at least these people were aware of because they were screaming and running for cover too. They didn't know what was going
Oh,
on.
security was screaming and running for cover?
Yeah, there was a couple of.
But were they like, they weren't
Workers.
officers,
They
were
weren't
like
officers.
security
No.
guards or something? Why didn't have
I
them
don't
in?
see, until yesterday. Wait, I'm sorry. What was yesterday? Okay.
Monday.
Sunday. Until Sunday, I had never seen a police. I don't believe I had ever seen a police officer any of the years I've ever gone to NCA.
Hmm.
And it was stacked. I mean, there was a lot of cops there. They were going to
So-
protect us.
The next day,
Sunday.
was there, like when Layla did her competition, was
Right.
there a lot of police?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
There was cops there that day.
Okay, okay.
And the
Were they
signs.
checking bags at that point?
They were not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful that at least no one that we know of was hurt or died, but maybe this is a good wake up call for those big cheer conventions to
Please.
implement all those safety protocols.
That's all we need. We just need some metal detectors.
I mean, they're making
And
enough
back
point
check.
too.
Back
They're
check.
making enough
I
money.
remember having my bag checked because
Yeah.
it was like you could only carry the
Yeah.
Lululemon crossbody size.
Yeah.
So it's so unusual that when you triple the size at this national convention,
Yeah.
the restrictions are more loosey goosey.
Well, with the bags, you know, a lot of the parents carry backpacks, for their kids, but the
Sure.
kids have their own, maybe that's the thing. Kids and coaches get backpacks. No one else does.
Yeah.
It's a convention center. If you need a lot of stuff,
Yeah, you have to
carry a
carry
stroller
stuff.
or a
Yeah.
wagon or something
Yeah.
that they can look inside. Maybe that's where we add metal detectors and we check bags. But Layla walks through a metal detector at her high school
So do you think
In
they
Scottsdale, Arizona.
in Scottsdale,
Yeah.
Arizona.
So do you think they're covering it just because there's a liability there?
I don't know. I
Or
feel
who owns
like
it, or what's the reason? What would
I
be your
don't know
theory?
who's covering it up.
I'm
I
not
feel
close
like
enough
the
to know.
Dallas police. I don't know. I don't. And to be fair, and you guys know I'm not fair, but to be
No, you're
fair,
fair, you're fair.
I just kind of been thinking over things. Like if somebody did have a gun in that many people, they could just put it right back in their pocket and run with the crowd.
Right. 100%.
Nobody's
That's true.
gonna know.
Don't be giving anyone ideas.
So they don't. I know. So they don't really possibly have any idea. But what upsets me is they're blaming it on these polls,
Yeah.
and I don't believe that. That's
weird.
what I don't.
It's
believe.
weird.
I really don't. I
It's
am a
weird to throw
conspiracy
that in the
theorist.
mix, though. Like
but-
polls.
Polls.
Like,
Well, apparently polls do fall all the time.
sure, but why?
But
Why say polls?
but why do
They're
we
metal and they make a big
crash?
clanking,
But
crashing.
who is saying that and why?
Right.
when it didn't
That's
happen?
what I
It's
think.
so
I think
strange.
it's interesting that a very big name owns this cheer conglomerate named Varsity.
Yeah.
I find that very
And-
interesting. A very well-known
Well,
businessman / politician.
Political, yeah.
Okay. Well, I will say that if it was Varsity's fault, it wouldn't be good for Varsity. I'm not going to bash Varsity because I'm
Too
just not. But, they've been good to our gym and stuff. And I think maybe they just need to rethink the entrance policy. But I truly believe it falls on the convention center. So when we have our 5th grade party at our elementary school,
Yeah.
we have to hire lifeguards.
Right?
We have to have people sign waivers and stuff. There's more security to get into a 5th grade party
In
than there is into
Scottsdale,
in
Arizona.
Scottsdale, Arizona, than there is into the convention center in
Right.
Dallas.
Which
Where
is an open,
100,000 people are coming in and out all
Right.
weekend.
is an open carry state.
Right.
Open
So
carry
what
state.
I would think,
So if I was a crazy person,
yeah,
I might go there
right.
because I know it's loose.
Well, it's not going to be there anymore. So
yeah, I know, but I'm just
But I
saying.
will say, I would think that the convention center themselves would say, hey, if you're going to have something here with this many people, you need to take this,
liability.
this, and this
Like their
precaution.
lawyers would be telling them.
After September 11th, there were so many businesses and big venues like that implemented evacuation
Oh,
policies.
hardcore.
And
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's so unusual
It
that they
is.
didn't have any of that in place.
Yeah.
Well, we're just
Well,
glad you
there's
guys are
that.
safe.
Yes,
And
thank you. I'm so glad I'm safe too. I'm not going to lie. I'm not okay.
yeah.
How could
Like
you?
I look at the videos, like again, if you follow Cheer Force, they have so many videos, and I guess it's on X, which is still Twitter to me.
Yeah.
RIP Twitter.
Yeah. We're still going to call it Twitter.
We're gonna still call it
tweeting.
Twitter, but it's on X, it's on Instagram. The video that not that we posted, we were like, "What's? Oh my God, that's us!" When I watch it, I get choked up.
Yeah.
And my little Layla, she's the little ass.
She's the last one to like scurry off the stage.
Well, you normally exit the other side.
Oh, so she was probably like,
So she was just following her, what she
Rule
knows.
Following
Yeah.
this is instinct.
Yeah. And then, I was going to tell you about Layla. So what I did here when, later on, I found out that Layla was very strong and hugging other kids and stuff, but she was kind of like quietly panicking to a couple of the moms
oh,
and saying, could you call my mom?
oh,
Could you find out where my mom is?
yeah.
And she's a good, strong girl.
And how nerve-wracking for her not having her cell phone to either
Yeah.
look on Life 360, to call her dad, to
Yeah.
call you, to call her
Anyone.
grandma.
Agreed.
Holy
So,
shit.
she has been okay through this, but last night I think it hit her a little bit after the big fun bid reveal. It hit her a little bit, and everybody Excuse
Process.
me, I'm hungry. Uh, everybody processes differently,
Yeah.
and Layla never processes outwardly. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, when Layla has like a little mini meltdown,
It's a big deal.
it was
It's been too
it was a
much.
big deal.
It's been too
It's
much.
been too much. Isn't it?
Okay, but my question is, are we ever going to be able to go to like a Snoop Dogg concert ever again? Is Shelly out of like group gatherings forever?
I think
or for
I
a
just-
while? For a while.
And I'm also running on very little sleep.
Yeah, you're gonna-
still.
yeah.
Plus a ton of adrenaline.
Yeah, I still have it. And
The emotions just alone that you felt,
Yeah.
the highs and the lows, is exhausting. I
It
can't
is.
imagine.
it is.
And
I
traveling is exhausting.
it's funny. Arash texted me last night. That's Diana's
Oh, he
husband.
did?
He did.
What did he say?
So he's fixing my car because we had a little
Oh boy.
a bumpity bump in the car, a
There's
little
chili party
scratch.
grandma situation gone wrong.
I just found out about that. I didn't
A
know that
hit and
happened.
run, if you will.
A hit and run. Did she not know?
She didn't. Nobody knew she hit my car. We were just.
How did
happy.
you know?
So we all knew, but
Oh.
then she backed in. We heard a little crunch. We looked, and then my mother-in-law got out of the car.
But we
and
could
she
see
drives
it. It
this
was
little
dark.
CRV. Yeah, it was night. She got out of the CRV, and then my son, who was 12 at the time, said, "Nope, you're all good," and off she drove. Then, as she's driving down the street with no lights on in the dark after hitting a car. Meanwhile, she didn't drink. She's not a drinker. She's just, an older lady driving a car. Anyway, I had to call her to tell her A, to turn on her lights, and B, to let her know she rear-ended Shelly.
Oh,
So,
But it
or
was
not
just
rear-ended,
it was
backed
a
into.
small scratch.
Yeah,
and
then
I was even like, it's not that big of a deal. But Arash is adamant.
But, well, I feel like anyway. But
yeah.
the best part is my mother-in-law wanted to talk to Shelly to make sure she knew it wasn't a hit and run.
Oh,
That was her number one concern.
It was
Oh, to be
fine.
funny.
It was so not a big deal.
Okay, what did Arash
But
say?
Arash texted
yeah. Back to
me.
Rush.
Bo texted me too, and just
Good.
said, Shelly, are you safe?
Oh, days later.
And Arash and I were
clueless.
just kind of going back and forth. He's like, and I was like, kind of like, I was good, and then he texted me, and I don't know why. His text just kind of made me very weepy. I guess
Oh,
he was
what a
just like,
dick.
what a dick.
you dick, Arash. How dare you? But it was so, everybody has been very kind. My neighbor, in fact, I
Is this
wanted,
the Baker neighbor?
this is my, sorry, Stephanie, I'm bonking my,
Shelley's very animated, just knocking
I
her
am.
microphone all over the
my
place.
Italian in me comes out. My neighbor,
Baked you 100 brownies.
What?
And you didn't bring us one?
Yeah, they freeze really nice.
no, she didn't do the brownies.
Darn it.
I have a picture. It'll be on Instagram. I'm trying to look her up. See, I'm doing things. I'm kind of like,
You're scattered.
I'm more scatterbrained, and I'm already scatterbrained. I'm more scatterbrained than I already am. On Instagram, it's soirees and sweetness. If you don't know how to spell soirees like me, it's SOIREES and sweetness. Soirees and sweetness. Her name is Shelly, also no E, and she's from the LBC, which makes her even cooler. But she texted me during this.
How did she know?
I don't know.
It was all over the
was
internet
news.
and the news. Yeah. How would she know? Well, it's on the news.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch the news.
There was. That's what I'm saying.
was on
People
my
were
feed.
texting me that.
Oh.
Well, maybe and plus our phones hear each other. I talk
Yeah.
about Cher all the time because it's like my life right now. But she texted me. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, thank you." And you guys heard my text. I still can't even put into words like how I feel. I was just like, I
Sure.
needed a friend. Stephanie texted me, and I was like, I just wish you were here. I just need a friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Nerves are shot.
not just my cheer friends. I just needed a home friend.
Yeah.
Like close friends. And Bree texted me, and I don't know how she found out Caroline. Thank you everyone who did, and I'm sorry I'm leaving people out. Anyway, she was like my friend that the baker next door, Shelly. She baked. So yesterday morning
So
on
sweet.
the plane, I texted her because we do, we try and spoil them for the big bid reveal. We get them cupcakes and put like Mickey ears on them because they're going to Disney. And I said, I hate to do this to you last minute, but do you think you could get 2 dozen cupcakes by tonight, like by 5 p.m.? And not only did she make cupcakes, she's like, I've been stalking you guys on Instagram. She goes, I'm not taking a cent
Oh, it's so
for what you
sweet.
guys went through and what you overcame. And not only did she make the cupcakes, she made a cake in the middle of the cupcakes with the team's
No.
championship picture.
Oh my God, that's
Wasn't that
amazing.
nice?
Yeah,
Thank you,
shout out.
Shelly.
And truly, she is an incredible baker. And
Those
I'm married to a
brownies.
chef.
Yes.
So I feel like I'm a credible source. This woman can bake. So whoever's listening, please,
Not
if
only
you need
are you
any-
married to a chef, that chef
is obsessed with her brownies.
loved her brownies.
Love,
Okay,
because they
what is
are
it?
my
unbelievable.
God.
Stories and
But if you guys
Soirees
need
and
any
sweetness.
kind of thing for a party,
Oh,
desserts,
woman-owned business. Yes.
hit her up.
Yeah, hit her up. I don't mean to like give it so much
That's
life.
a-
I
that's
didn't,
a-
I didn't have
that's
that in
a-
mind,
you know
but
what
I thought
we
it was
love.
so kind.
No, that's awesome. She
Yeah.
deserves to have a lot.
But just saying that, like I've been following you guys and what you guys went through to what you overcame. I
So
won't take
sweet.
a red cent. And I'm like, I don't like that.
yeah.
You know, I want to send her money,
Yeah.
but you
Just
know,
take it. That's
Well,
from
hopefully
the
she
heart,
gets a lot
you
of
know?
new business.
I hope she does because you'll never have a better brownie in
You
your
will
life.
not. You will
Never.
not. You will not.
Chef Bo Max says
Max says they're the
they're
best.
delish.
Okay, so that's a you know what I love, but do we want to wrap it with a you know what I hate, or
You know what I
is there
Do we
anything
have
else?
one?
Do you have a?
I feel like this has been a
Or
real
should we-
Shelley filled episode.
My favorite kind of day.
Yeah.
Shelley filled day.
We
I
don't
will
hate it.
tell you what I do hate, and it happened in Dallas.
Oh boy.
It's kind of funny. I love salt, right?
Oh my
We all know this. I
Yeah.
will salt food before I taste it. I love it. I love it. It makes everything better. Please start salting your foods because it makes it better.
Yeah.
I was at the restaurant that night. I had ordered we door dashed in some Hawaiian food. Please don't ask me why. I just, they were doing it. And I'm like, oh, me too. You know, I was just tired.
I would
Anyway,
never pick you for a Hawaiian
No.
cookout, but okay.
it wasn't bad. I won't lie, but I don't eat rice. It was rice filled. And anyway, so
Like,
it just
I
needed.
don't even know if I've even had Hawaiian. Like,
It's
is it
like
barbecue
it was like
or what
pork.
is it?
It was like a
It's pretty
barbecue
good.
pork on
Okay,
rice.
it's like going to a luau.
Kind of.
Okay.
And then there was mac and cheese, and it was they're building where I
Oh,
over
Hawaiian.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's where we
So what
got
do
it
you
from.
hate? Rice or salt?
No,
No,
hold on.
unsalted.
I hate places
Yes.
that don't have enough gosh dang salt shakers, which was
Assholes.
Yes. So I had a salt shaker, have barely any. Which, by the way, I had to get up on my 2 feet and go ask another table of my cheer friends, may I borrow your salt? I didn't just borrow it. I obliterated it
Yeah.
because there wasn't much left. So I went, you have to kind of go to the bar sometimes. And I was like, can I get a salt shaker? They're like, oh, sure. So they never came back. So I asked somebody else, can I get a salt shaker? She comes back and she gives me this pepper grinder. I go, oh no, I want a salt shaker. She goes, oh, if you do it one way, it's pepper.
Oh, okay.
If you
yeah,
do it
one
the
of
other
those.
way, it's salt. I go, okay. Well, you guys know how gullible I am. If you just put your finger over your lip like a mustache, I don't know who you are, right?
Yes.
I go down. Either way you go.
It's pepper.
That was a pepper shaker. So I went back and I go, can I get a salt shaker? This is all pepper. And the guy runs off. There's another restaurant off to the side that's kind of closed in. There's literally not one person there.
Meanwhile, your food is cold by
Yeah.
now. I mean, it's got to be.
Okay, so you need to add a salt shaker to your purse along with your sodas.
Yeah.
So there's like just put that in your,
Put in
your
the- it's in
bank
the
for birthdays
But
or
each
Christmas
time I
gifts.
do this, I'm going back and forth. And there's my 2 friends and my one friend's husband. And he has like a fanny pack and he's drinking beer, right? So I go back and I go, can I please just get a salt shaker? This is a huge hotel. There's nobody in that restaurant. Can I have a salt shaker off of one of those tables? I'll just go get it myself. And they're like, no, we got it. This MF comes back with 3 salt packets.
Oh Jesus.
And I was like, you have got
Are
to be
people
kidding
stealing
me.
the salt shakers?
don't
Is that
know.
what's going on?
But hold on.
So a restaurant doesn't have a salt
No.
shaker.
There was no, I was going around to people I don't even know looking on They must have thought I was a
Shelly
crackhead.
needs to travel with
I was
salt.
looking with salt for the salt shaker.
She needs her
Band,
sugar packets.
pillow.
Bad pillow,
Oh,
salt.
She needs her, what's your sugar? What color? Blue?
No, I like the
Yellow.
yellow.
Oh, yellow.
Linda.
Yellow Splenda packets
Yeah.
and salt packets.
But
At all
then,
times.
hold on. I sit down. My friend who's drinking the beer, he opens up his fanny. He opens up a new
He
beer.
had salt
He opens
packets?
up his fanny pack. He has this cute little plastic salt shaker.
Shut
I'm
up.
like,
He travels with
did
a
you
salt
not hear
shaker.
me this whole time going back and forth? It was so funny. And then I'm sitting there done with my food, and the people originally that I took the salt shaker from, they go, Shelly, they brought the salt shaker.
20 minutes later.
20 minutes later. So anyway, please just buy salt shakers. They're 99
Yeah.
cents.
Like
at the
regular.
Or even
grocery
cheaper
store.
if you do a bulk order.
Jeez. How dare them? Anyway,
Okay.
I was bummed. So I hate places with no salt shakers.
Okay.
All right. Are we wrapping it up?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
That-
I
Thank
know
you.
that was
Sorry it was
difficult.
such a, it's probably our unfunniest episode.
No, but traumatic for sure.
Well,
it was traumatic, and it feels good like sharing it with you guys.
yep.
And, I think I almost feel like a little lighter right now because I don't think I've really told like it.
Well, you didn't have
And
to.
it's
You were with people
entirety.
who lived it.
But they don't, but I was alone.
Yeah. They all
They
have their
didn't
own
know that.
stories.
Like here's
that's true.
Layla. Oops, I keep bonking the microphone. Here's Layla, and here's me.
I actually can see that.
You know
And
what
I
I
can
mean?
see how it all unfolded.
But you
I would have
run with the
predicted it,
crowd.
to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's crazy.
Shelly just panics and just dashes
Yeah.
off, and everyone's like, "Where
I
is
mean,
she
they get
going?"
them for all I had to do was be faster than that crowd. Like they say, if the vampire or bear is chasing you, you just have to be faster than the person. you're with.
yes,
That's all I was
that's true.
trying to do. But no, I feel a little
A
lighter
vampire, like-
talking about. So if a vampire comes after you, just run faster than your friend.
Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.